Shalom, Yahavah Shalom, to the Lord, Shalom, Yahavah Shema, Bashan Shai, to our sister Salakia. I know it's a very, very late start. We have been having too many technical difficulties with the internet and things of that sort. So Salakia, the plan was not to get through the entire prayer of Psalms 121, so our breakdown, but I'm going to try to get through the meat of it as much as possible. All right. Another thing I did want to mention, last week I did say that we were supposed to get into more synthesis as far as the vocab words that we had last week. There's been a change of plans. I overlooked my notes, and I forgot that I put a gap in between it for a reason. A lot of people have questions as far as the prayers that we get into as far as every class that we have, whether it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, whether it's a Saturday type of class. All right, we get into the prayers. Those prayers are very important when it comes to the nation of Israel. All right, and so the prayers that we usually say all the time during Sabbath service, you will know what I'm talking about. All right, so we are just going to break down how to say everything in Hebrew as far as our prayers, because they are in Hebrew, and yes, it is also in English as well. Like, for example, let me show you right here. Right here. So as you can see, Psalms 121, you have it in the Lashawan Qadash, or otherwise you have it in English. All right. So that's what we will be breaking down today. We will be breaking all of that down all today. All right. Well, not all of it, but just majority of it. And then we'll finish up the rest by next week, because I already know that the time is already running on us. So let's get to it. All right. Of course, if you have any questions or concerns, make sure that you check the chat. The questions are answered. All right. Otherwise, if you know somebody that enjoys language or learning a new language, all right. Of course, Psalms 121 breakdown is what we're going to begin with. We already did the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer was about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So now we're going to continue with the second prayer that we do. There is about 6 prayers in total that we, read when we're dealing with Sabbath service, otherwise Tuesday or Wednesday class, brotherhood, or biblical law class / scripture breakdown. All right. So let's get into it. Okay. And we are going word by word, by the way. All right. So just bear with me. Yes. All right. So yeah, I'm just going to write the top row, and then we're going to break it all down. All right. Just going to write out the Hebrew words first, and then we're going to break it down little by little. And once again, like I just said, just bear with me for a second, and we are going to. I got to move a little faster than the time because we don't have too much time. So, right. Give me 1 second real quick. Once again, just give me 1 second, I'm almost done here. All right. Yeah, yes. All right. All right. All right, so finally, right? So this is where we are going to begin. This is where we are going to end for the day. All right. I have to shorten it once again because of the lack of time. But we are going to break it down though throughout the entire time until it hits about 9 o'clock. All right. So I want you to follow along and pay very close attention. Once again, we are getting into Psalms 121, the breakdown. All right. So let me separate this real quick. Boom, boom. All right. So the first one we have is I.S.U.P.K, all right, which is the first word out of Psalms 121 as far as the prayer. So give me 1 second. All right, just 1 second here. Okay. So now, of course, when you read it into the actual English, when translated, it will say, I will lift up, right? Or I will lift, okay? So when you write it right here, as far as the I, and then sha'a. Okay? Now I would be I. I is I, and so is anya. Okay? Now sha'a. Sha'a would be lift. Now we know that when you translate sha'a into the English, as far as what's on this chart right here, or Salaki, my bad. What's on there? Okay, what's on this page right here, what you're going to see is I will lift up, which is right here at the bottom. I will lift up. We get straight to the point. It's something you're saying, all right? That makes sense. At least it should, okay? You also want to get into the Hebrew, all right, as far as how to write it in the Paleo, all right? This is the English version. This is the English, this is the Hebrew word, but it's spelled out in English. Otherwise, if you don't understand what this means, this will help you out, okay? You have the Hebrew version as far as how to write it out the same. Then next is the actual Paleo, which is this right here. And Shalom will Christ to the sister that's in will Christ to everybody else is also in here, all right? So if you can't see something, if something's too far off, if something's blocking, just let me know. All right, so yeah, now so Ashia, all right? Ashia is I lift or I will lift. You see what I'm saying? So this is how you write it out in Hebrew. You want to take Shah by itself and again. Of course, what's important is the characters. So like, give me 1 second. What's very important is the characters, all right? Or it's like the connectors, so to speak. The connectors is what you want to pay attention to. So of course we have an which is right here, right there. We have a Shah, which is over here. And then we have an again, which is right here. So the is by itself, and so is the Shah, and so is the again towards the end. It's all by itself. It's singular. Nothing is connected. All right. Hold on, 1 second. Yeah. So yeah, Asha'ah, all right? Nothing is connected. Now, Anya. Anya is one of the vocab words that we studied and broke down about maybe 2 months ago. All right? Those 50 vocab words that we went over 2 months ago, Anya was definitely in the category. Okay? So Anya, let's separate it. Let's divide it. Because it's all the way down. What you have right here too, this is a prefix. You see what I'm saying? You have prefix and suffix. Okay? That's what's very important to know. Give me 1 second. That's what's very important to know, that you have prefix and suffix. Still like my bad. Ayanya. Okay? Ayan means I. Of course, in this case, all right, that's what it would be, is my. My as in my possession. All right? So, as you see, I have a divider right here without Haharan. Same thing with Al-Yanwam. Okay? There's a reason, because these are two separate things. It's not together, it's separated for a reason. So that way you know how to pronounce it correctly. Okay? So the first one we have, of course, is I lift, which is I shah. Then we have it in the Hebrew. And then next what we have is Ayanya. I and my. Let's write it into Hebrew. Be like this. Yeah, like that. That's now. Boom, and then we got again. So the I is by itself, which will be singular. Yah will be actually connected to the na. What you have is a Yah and a na. If it's connected together, the A on a na drops off, and the Yah is by itself again. So when you have a character selected by itself, that's singular. When you have two characters connected or two letters connected together, it's plural. It's a closed parenthesis, meaning it's together. This is by itself. This is together. All right. That's all that means. Okay. Ow is unto. All right. Ow is unto. Haharayim. Let me see. Let me go to chat real quick. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay. So we're gonna break it down right here. So ha means be. Everyone should know that from the prefix and the suffix. Now, ha means hill, but harayim means hill. Think of hills or mountain, which is the same thing. Let me see. Okay. So we have ah. So a is going to be ah. The h cancels out. The h cancels out from the ah because it's connected to la, and the a for la is going to cancel out. All right. So let's get it. Let's see. The ah, and then you have the la. So these are going to be connected together. All right. See what I'm saying? So actually, I try it. Give me 1 second. Let me write it this way, right to left. So like right to left is perfect. Boom, here we go. That's better. So harayam. Harayam, that's going to be like this. You got the ra, and then you got the ya, and you got the ma. Okay? So by itself, well, actually, you know what? It's two of them. Yeah, I guess we just do both right there. 1 second. All right, here we go. So you got the ha, ra, which is by itself, and the yam, ya and ma, which is together. You have the ya right here, and you have the ma. The a cancels out when it's connected. All right. So there you go. Make sure that everybody's writing this down. It's very, very important. If you want to know what you are getting into when it comes to the prayers, you know, with Sabbath service or all right. Very, very important. You should always know what you're saying and what you're speaking of. You know, we ain't here, you know, to talk English. We're here to really understand our culture and our language. All right, because this is all of us. Yes, we know English. We may know Spanish. That's not our native tongue. What is our native tongue is this right here, Lashawan Qadash. All right, the paleo. Okay. Sometimes we to the city. If you were to go out to, you know, buy, let me see, you're going to see this, the Syrian. You're going to see more of this in the Middle East. Our language, I'm saying our original language, Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well, or maybe even other places as well. But it's good to know both but we are just going to focus on this week, just with the paleo, okay? Not the Syrian as much, but it's good to know both just in case. You know what I mean? You might want to take a vacation. You might want to take a trip somewhere out of the country, and you might see one or the other, or you might see both. And it's good to understand a certain language. When people are talking to you, it's good to understand what they are saying. Now, some people out of the country, they think that a lot of Americans are very stupid. Now, when I say American, if you are outside of the U.P.K., if you are living the American dream, which is for our oppressor, the pink oppressor, you are Americanized. You see what I'm saying? No matter what race, no matter what nationality that you are, male, female, whatever. If you are Americanized, most likely, if you are not versed in language, going into a different culture or atmosphere or environment, see what I'm saying, or a different country, you won't know what people are saying. And it's a big thing on TikTok going on right now where people are asking questions like, have you ever been to a place where people have said or spoken language and they were shocked that you knew what they were saying? And some people know what other people are saying in different languages because they're studying. But if you are not versed on language, as far as other countries that you're going to, or people coming into this country where you live at, so to say, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna know what they're talking about. But that's not really too important. But what's really, really important is understanding your language, all right? It can come in handy in many different forms or ways. And this can, you know, this language has saved our lives as well. And that's all through the Bible. And that's why I brought that up in the first place, all right? But moving forward, moving on, all right? Ma'ayan, okay, Ma'ayan. So, of course, put a divider between Ma and Ayan, all right? Ma is another way of saying just like the and Ban can also mean something like that. Okay, I mean, we say, you know, like for example, I would say, Makabi Ban Yahawada Ban Yasha'ala. I gave you my name, I gave you my tribe, and I gave you my nation. Maccabi is my name, Yahawada is Judah, so-called Negro, and Yasha'ala is the nation that I'm from. Okay? So that's what that means. All right, so Ma is from Ayan. Ayan is going to be where? Or where, where, it's like it. Where, however you pronounce it. Okay? Then we're going to get into the Hebrew. We got the Ma right here. You have the A right there. We have the Ya. And then we have the Na. All right? That's what we got. So the Ma is by itself, according to the chart. The A is by itself. The Ya is by, the Ya and the Na is actually together because there's no A with the Na. So it's connected with the Ya. So that makes it combined together. You have an open parenthesis with the Ma. You have an open parenthesis with the A. And then together with the Ya and the Na is together. All right? So moving forward. Let's see what time it is. All right, so like I might have moved it just a little tad bit faster. Bear with me. The reason why I divided it is because we have a prefix and a suffix. Okay. The ya. Ya means he. Ya ba'a, or I'm sorry, ba'a means come. Like you telling someone to come here. Okay? That's what that means. Ya ba'a. All right? Let's see here. So yeah, he come. Okay? He come. You tell someone to come here. And all right, so come, yeah. All right, yeah. So yeah, yeah, you got yeah, and then you got and ba. It's like it, ba, like that. Ya, ba, and it's like it. Ya, ba, okay, and it's all by itself. All right. But when you combine it together, it's he come. Okay. Now Isaiah. Okay. Isaiah. Now this will be considered to be in a way a prefix because it's before. It's pre. All right. It's before. Yeah is going to be a suffix. All right. So Isaiah means help. Yeah means mine. Okay. And if you know the prefix and suffix that we went over a few months ago, you understand where this all comes from, okay? Because we broke all that down. So we have an I, we have a Z, yeah, so it's like a Z anyway. And then we have an R, which is the R, all right? And then we have the Y, boom. So I is singular, Z is singular, the R is connected. Actually, you know what? Actually, you know what? The Z and the R is together. That's right. The Y is by itself. There you go. Okay. So let me just double check something real quick. Yeah, that's good. I am. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Correct. Yeah. All right. Okay. That is correct. Just have to double check real quick. Just, so yeah, Mayim. Okay. So means help my or my help. Okay. So it's Mayim. So Mayim. So I know this might be confusing, but this whole entire word, it just simplifies to from. There are a lot of Hebrew words that mean the same thing. There are some that are different. There are certain meanings, factors to it. Just like any dictionary word that we yeah, so a lot of Hebrew words, just like a lot of English word or any language, one word can have many different, one way to say more than one thing, if that makes sense, all right? So Yahweh, of course, we already know who Yahweh is, who's the Most High. So we ain't got to break it down too much. 1 second. So the Most High, so TMH stands for the Most High, otherwise the Lord. Boom, the Lord, all right? Self-explanatory, we know who Yahweh is, I.S.U.P.K, I.S.U.P.K, all right? So like 1 second. Boom, yeah, her, and then what, and her again. These two are connected, are by itself. I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K means made, like you made something. And this is what it is, by itself. Kind of verse that. Boom, here we go. All right. I-SHA, I-SHA, okay? Shamayam or Shemayim. I just broke it down, Shamayim or Shemayim, okay? Now with Shemayim, right? We are going to divide it a little bit. Boom. Shah is going to be like, or like unto, but we just want to stick with like. Mayim. Okay, the entire word means heaven or earth, okay? Or otherwise water. So give me a second. Yeah, so pretty much it's heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. And then how you put it in Hebrew is Shah, Ma, Ya. That's how you put it in Hebrew. Okay? Here. Yeah, I forgot that's called. All right, so why I rock side? Boom. Why is going to Arakasai, as we know, is either earth, land, or country. But in this case, it's going to be more talking about, once again, heaven or earth, but really earth. Because earth is a planet that has water. All right? If you read the prayer, you'll understand where it's coming from. So let's get into it. Boom. Right here. Okay. And sa. So, wa, ra, tada. It's all singular. Moving on. All right. Now, a second. All right. So, if you pay attention, our means to or our to say. There's more than which is unto. Okay? There's more definition to it. Right here, based on what you read in the translation in the English, it's going to be never. You can say never or neither. All right. Let me see. Yana 1. This is a division right here. Just double check. Yeah. Yes, he. And then Nawam is going to be slumber. Now this slumber is going to be simply unconscious or knocked out entirely, like being like in a coma, so to speak. All right. It's more than just a regular sleep. It's being like in a coma, knocked out, unconscious. Okay. And once again, if you read the prayer in the Hebrew and read it in English, it'll make a lot more sense. All right. Let's get it real quick. I want to start right here. Na, wa, and ma. All right. Lam, which is a very good word. I like this word. All right, number what? All right. La means two, of course. When we say la right here, la yasha'ala, we're saying to Israel. That is a salute that you're giving to your nation. Israel, yasha'ala is Israel. We'll get into what yasha'ala means, all right? Yasha'ala, I should say. Mawat. which is move. All right, which move meaning like something that's in a way possessive, where you're physically moving something or someone in a sense. So la, all right, ma, and then wa, and then ta. All right, so la is by itself, ma is by itself, wa and ta are together. Singular, singular, together. Open parenthesis, close parenthesis. All right? Good. So, regalka. All right? So let me put this before here, or better yet, just divide it. Regal. Regal means foot. Ka means your foot. Okay? So we have ra. Ga is actually ga is that. We have a la. Yeah, and a ka. Boom, here we go. All right, just have to double check real quick. All right, here we go. All right, ra is singular by itself. The ga and the la is by itself. Ka is by itself. These two are together by itself, by itself. All right, singular, singular, and close parenthesis, or joined together, so to speak. All right. Let's see. 1 second. Oh, you know what? I made a small mistake. I got selected for that. Actually, the Hebrew was right. Hold on. My bad, selected. I made a small mistake. Hold on 1 second. I see. Okay. I made a small mistake. Selected. I was confused. Okay. My bad. I'm selected for that. Yeah. Okay. Actually, based on others, select for that. If y'all copy that down, I can erase that and put this up instead. All right. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Going good. All right. Okay. Select for that. That was a mistake. I realized I had both up here. Some prayers you would hear more than you would hear the same word in the same prayer. Like for example, the reason why I put a number 2 is because you hear Isaiah once, and Isaiah a second time. So that's why I put it up there twice. All right, that's why I put it in parentheses as far as number 2. Okay, Salakia, moving on. Everything else looks to be correct. So in this case, this would be never. Yanawam. Yanawam is going to be slumber. That's what it's going to be. There we go. That's a lot more better. Let me get it real quick. And then na, and then wa and ma. All right, together, single, single. All right, here we go. Now, shamarka. So we know that when we cut this down, shamar means watch. We know that ka means your. So this is saying like someone's watching your back, so to speak, all right, watching over you, all right? So we have the sha, then we have the ma, we have the ra, we have the ka, okay? By itself, together, by itself, all right? Kana, or kana, so to speak. It means behold. Behold is a word that you're going to see a lot in the scriptures, especially when it deals with the Holy Spirit, because behold is usually used in context of the Holy Spirit being on brothers and sisters. See what I'm saying? So let's get it. Hold on. No. Yeah. Shamarka. Yeah, Shamarka. All right, and Hana. Yeah, Hana. All right, La'a. La'a, the very, once again, let me see something quick. This is part of the vocabulary words. So is this one. Ayan is as well. Prefix, so kind of part of vocab words. Yahweh is definitely part of vocab words. Asha, I want to say it is. Shemayim, yes it is. Ratazah, definitely part of the vocab words that went over like all 50 to 51. Yathan, I want to say maybe. No, maybe. This one. Shamar, yes. La'a, yes. La'a, yes, I should say. And Yasha'ala, all right? And we are going to keep touching on these for a good minute, all right? So no and not. All right. Wala'a is, well, of course, this. And la'a is no or not. And of course, you have la, you have a. Instead of al, you have la'a, and they're both by itself. Wa is just going to be this, or it's going to be this by itself. La'a is going to be la, and then a. All right. Here we go. All right. Wa la'a. Wa la'a. Yahashan. Okay. Yahashan, if I can remember. Of course, this means he. Yashan means deep sleep. Deep sleep. Okay. So you have ya, and sha, and na. There you go. By itself, together. Okay. Shawama. Instead of shamar, shawama. All right. Of course, which means simply just watching. All right. You have the sha right here. You have the wa. Then you have the ma and ra together. That's it. Ya means ya breakdown means prince. Allah means power. The power. Okay? Otherwise, in total, it means Israel, which is Jacob, the progenitor of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And if you don't know what progenitor means, it means the father of, the seed of, is Jacob, which he created Israel through 4 women. By having sex with 4 women, he created blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you know what? I said prime, it's a lot of prince. Alright, my bad, prince. So Yah means he, Shar means prince, Allah or Allah means power. And then in total, Yah, Shar, Allah all together means Israel. Okay? So let's do it in Hebrew. Yah, Yah, Shar, Ra. It's going to be in there as well. Let me just double check and make sure I got it right. 1 second. Shar, Ra. I see, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Shar, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah, Shar, yeah, Shar, there we go, yeah. So, yeah, Shar, La. All right. And that's the breakdown so far for Psalms 121. We are going to get into part 2 of it by next week. And Lord allow, there's not too much to really go over as far as next week, so we should be done by next week. And then we can get into other things that I've been wanting to, address as far as the present, past, and future tense, all right? And the pronouns, the verbs, adjectives, possessive adjectives, and things like that. Instead, I just want to say Shalom, Yabashim, Shalom, 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 Yabashimar, all right? That being said,